noise of the rushing world, a gentle voice, a story unfurled, wisdom from a distant shore, opening a brand new door.
The breeze drifting through the window has grown noticeably softer lately, carrying the scent of a season turning a quiet corner. There is a profound, silent comfort in simply sitting still and watching the landscape transform. It fills a certain hunger in the soul that words often fail to reach. I wonder how your day has treated you. In the relentless hum of a busy life, it's all too easy to forget to look up at the sky. And I find myself hoping you weren't too burdened by the weight of the hours. For now, I invite you to set down whatever you are carrying. Let us share a metaphorical cup of warm tea and carve out a space that belongs entirely to you. Today, I want to share a journey through a book titled The Memories That Made Me by Kang Tae-sik. The author possesses a background that might seem unexpected for a writer of such lyrical grace. For 13 years, he was a mechanical engineer, a man who lived among cold steel, intricate blueprints, and the unyielding logic of machinery. Today, he operates as a one-person company, a practical intellectual, carving out a path on his own terms. We often harbor a prejudice that an engineer's gaze must be rigid or clinical. But Kang shatters that notion beautifully. He uses the same precision required to understand the interlocking gears of a machine, to map the delicate, microscopic textures of human emotion. He posits a beautiful thesis that we are, quite literally, the sum of what we remember. Just as 10,000 tiny cogs must align to move a massive engine, the seemingly insignificant, dusty memories of our past converge to form the vast universe of who we are today. This book is his ledger, a record of his fierce years in the field, but more importantly, a record of his reflections as a son and a father. His sentences are built with the structural integrity of a well-designed monument, yet they are filled with a warmth that offers a sanctuary for the weary. Let us step softly into his memories, and perhaps, in doing so, find the echoes of our own. 1. Roots and nostalgia. The times that shaped me. Every story has a beginning, and Kang's begins in the hazy, sun-drenched distance of a modest childhood. Even now, he writes, he can close his eyes and feel the grit of the wind in a narrow alleyway. He hears the echo of his mother's voice, calling him for dinner as dusk settled over the neighborhood, and he feels the tactile memory of worn-out tools in his small hands. There is a prevailing wisdom in his words that these moments never truly vanish. They are layered deep within us, acting as emotional landmarks that guide us back home whenever we lose our way in the complexities of adulthood. It is fascinating to realize that his path toward engineering wasn't born in a classroom, but in the silent observation of his father's back as he repaired broken things around the house. A rusty screwdriver handed to a young boy was more than a tool. It was a key to the mysteries of the world. His father once told him, "Son, a machine is honest. It moves exactly as much as the sincerity you put into it." This simple truth became the lighthouse for his entire life. We often obsess over our current achievements, viewing them as isolated peaks. But we forget that these peaks are supported by the tectonic plates of our past curiosities. And, more importantly, our past failures. I find myself lingering on his appreciation for failure. In the world of mechanics, it is only when a machine breaks down that you truly understand its internal architecture. Our lives function much the same way. The broken moments, The times we felt stalled or dismantled are often the very experiences that grant us our strength. Kang recalls his days as a novice engineer, covered in grease and trembling with the anxiety of making a mistake. Without that raw, uncomfortable friction, the polished expertise he eventually gained would have no foundation. Like a great oak standing in a courtyard, our memories extend deep underground. The deeper the roots of our past struggles, the more steadfastly we can stand against the storms of the present. Sometimes, we need to rummage through the storage units of our hearts. We need to find that old dream we tucked away, or the small, seemingly useless object that once made our hearts race. Recognizing these as the invisible pillars of our current selves makes the burdens of today feel a little lighter. Kang restores these roots with the meticulous care of a craftsman. As I read his account of his parents, I realized that for him, they aren't just figures of longing. They are the standard by which he measures reality. In a world that often feels chaotic and unfair, the engineering truth that honest effort yields a predictable result mirrors the moral truth his parents lived by. Life, like a well-oiled machine, rarely betrays the memories of honest labor. 2. Harmony of work and life. Cold machines and warm hearts. The life of an engineer is one governed by the cold sovereignty of numbers. It is a world where a decimal point to the third power determines success or catastrophe, and where the ticking clock is a constant, rhythmic pressure. Kang admits that there were times he felt like nothing more than a small, replaceable bolt in a gargantuan industrial system. Dressed in oil-stained coveralls, navigating the labyrinth of massive power plants, he began to ask the most fundamental question: what is work? Is it merely a means to survive, or is it a conduit for self-expression? He eventually chose to see work as a language, a way of understanding the world, and a sophisticated bridge to other people. He began to view life itself as a complex system. He doesn't shy away from the darker hues of the professional world. The exhaustion, the friction with superiors, the looming deadlines, and that soul-crushing sensation of being a consumable part. These are universal pains, yet he analyzes them with a unique lens. He notes that just as a machine requires lubricant to prevent heat and wear, our lives require the lubricant of white space and human connection. His perspective on human relationships is particularly striking. He sees communication not as a one-way transmission, but as a feedback loop. Understanding how the signal you send is received, processed, and returned is the only way to achieve true resonance. While many writers appeal purely to the heart, Kang uses logic to diagnose the soul. When we feel sadness, he suggests, it is often because a specific balance in our internal system has been disrupted. This isn't cold. It's empowering. It suggests that our internal states are not mysteries beyond our control, but systems that can be maintained and repaired. When he speaks of his transition to being a one-person company, he captures the terrifying beauty of independence. Moving from the safety of a corporate structure into the wilderness required him to merge his technical expertise with humanistic values. He argues that true professionalism in the modern age isn't just about the volume of knowledge you possess, but about how that knowledge adds value to the lives of others. Reading this, I felt a renewed sense of pride in the mundane tasks of my own day. Every small effort, every boring routine is actually a vital step in the grand engineering project of a life well lived. 3. Relationships and love. the pieces of others that complete me. Now we turn to the softer gears of the heart. Kang refers to family as the foundation frame of life. No matter how magnificent a machine is, if its frame is weak, it will eventually collapse under its own weight. He confesses that he realized quite late that the strongest force sustaining him was the love within his home. His writing here loses its technical edge and takes on a rustic, honest warmth. He speaks of his deep affection for his wife, the quiet awe of watching his children grow, and the poignant ache of seeing his parents age. His metaphor for love is one of my favorites. Love is the process of two people, each vibrating at a different frequency, constantly making micro-adjustments to create a single, harmonious chord. It is a noble labor. It reframes conflict not as a sign of failure, but as an opportunity for calibration. For those of us who have felt bruised by relationships, this perspective offers a profound healing. It suggests that the work of love is supposed to be continuous. He also pays homage to the small connections. A flower blooming by the roadside, a brief greeting exchanged with a neighbor. He believes these tiny interactions are the data points that construct our social selves. A small act of kindness we receive becomes the energy that allows us to be kind to someone else. It's a beautiful conservation of energy. We are often most stingy with those closest to us, taking their devotion as a given constant. Kang, however, attempts to measure the mass of that hidden love. When we truly feel the weight of what others carry for us, we find the path to genuine happiness. Love, he reminds us, is never delivered as a finished product. It is a work in progress that must be cleaned, tightened, and oiled every single day. Looking at his father's bent back, he finally calculated the magnitude of the love. He had received a value that reaches toward infinity, beyond any equation. He asks himself, and us, if we can be that same sturdy frame for the people who look up to us. It is a humbling question that turns our focus away from our own needs and toward the structural integrity of those we love. 4. Philosophical reflection. The future created by the sum of memories. As we reach the final movement of his thoughts, Kang asks the ultimate question: why must we remember? For him, memory is not a fossilized remain of the past. It is the lens through which we interpret the present and the blueprint for the future. He uses his history as a data set to find the optimized path for his life. However, his version of optimization isn't about mere efficiency or profit. It is about value-centered optimization, finding the path that is most authentically human. He speaks of aging and decay with the calm acceptance of a scientist. Every machine wears down over time, but those marks of wear are badges of honor. They prove that the machine fulfilled its purpose with diligence. Similarly, the wrinkles on a human face and the slowing of the body are the chronicles of a life that refused to remain idle. Even death is reframed, not as a system failure, but as a data transfer, where the memories we created are uploaded into the systems of those we leave behind. This is where the contrast with artificial intelligence becomes so clear. An AI can process 1 billion memories in a second, but it cannot feel the grit of the alleyway or the heat of a father's screwdriver. It can simulate logic, but it cannot possess the lived heat of a human heart. Kang's story is a testament to the fact that our value lies in the very things. An algorithm cannot replicate the pain of a mistake, the warmth of a hand, and the irrational persistence of hope. He leaves us with a challenge. Look at your memory storage. What data have you collected? How will you arrange those pieces to design your future? He urges us not to reject our painful memories, for even the broken parts are essential components of the unique machine that is you. We are all architects, holding our own blueprints, building our own fortresses. And the strongest bricks we have are the small, seemingly mundane memories of the hours we've spent surviving, loving, and learning. As we conclude this journey through the memories that made me, I find myself opening the old dusty drawers of my own life. I see now that the moments I thought were lost were actually just waiting to be acknowledged for the strength they provided. Kang Tae-sik may have started as a man of machines, but he has proven that the most complex and beautiful system in the world is the human spirit, powered by the fuel of memory and the electricity of love. I hope my reading today has provided you with a small clearing in the forest of your busy life. When the world feels too loud, or when you feel your own identity blurring at the edges, I hope you remember his words. Nothing you have gone through is a waste. Every second is a brick. Every memory is a gear. You are a masterpiece of engineering and heart, still in the making. The night has grown deep now, or perhaps for some of you, the first light of dawn is beginning to stir. Regardless of where you are in time, I hope this moment finds you at peace. You have worked hard today. May the memories that made you also be the ones that comfort you in your dreams tonight. I look forward to our next meeting, where we will open another book and find another piece of ourselves. Sleep well, and thank you for listening.